Hey guys, how you doing? Hope all is well. Wanted to get into this. Hearing a lot of questions about AdWords and running AdWords for smaller facilities. I agree with a lot of what some of the other marketers are saying. If you've got a small facility, say under 300 units, it can be difficult to hire somebody to do your ads just because if you add on what they're going to charge you for running the ads along with the ad spend, it gets cost prohibitive, but it doesn't mean that AdWords won't work for you. We use it a lot. A lot of our clients use it. I used it when I was running my facility. So I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of how I look at it, what my stack is. I know in the last video I talked about set up your tag manager, your analytics, and your offer, and I got several videos on that already as well, what it should look like. So just for a quick review, your tag manager, once it's complete, should look something like this. So you've added the tags, but you've added all the different events so that you can load them in your analytics account. So this particular customer uses ESS, and we can track all these different events on his ESS page and his web page. So if some of you don't know, I create for my customers and for myself, the front facing page that everybody sees is something that I own, that I've created, and then I point the rental links, the rental buttons to ESS, StoreEdge, SiteLink, whatever backend facility management system you're using. I highly recommend optimizing, owning the site on the front, optimizing that so that you own your SEO, and then pointing to your facility management software. If you use a company, a facility management software that says they'll give you a site and you optimize it for that, basically you're optimizing their site. So you're buying SEO for them or building SEO for them. I don't recommend that because with so many different management softwares coming on the market right now, you don't want to be stuck with one and then having to start over every time if you switch, So you want to make sure that all these events are set up in your tag manager and transfer this GA4 event. This tag is linked to an event in your analytics. And what you're going to do is when you have everything set up in your analytics, a little bit further down the line, we're going to import those events as conversions into AdWords so that you can better optimize your ads. If you tell Google what a conversion is for you, whether it's a clicks, most of these are going to be what we call secondary, but click to call would be a primary. Let's see here, rental confirmation, that's a primary. Let's see here, those are basically, you're only going to have 2 or 3 primaries. Everything else is going to be a secondary, but you want to track these different events in your AdWords dashboard so that you can see, are people landing on my site? What are they doing when they get there? And what are they not doing when they get there? So if you see somebody who's triggered the rental intent, which basically clicks the rental button, but not the rental confirmation, then you know that they looked at a price, didn't like it, and for some reason went off. And that's where remarketing comes in. You want to do that, but I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. So you set up your tag manager, you set up your analytics, and have your offer. Again, do not run ads without an offer. I am not a big fan of branding. I'm a direct response marketer. I highly recommend that for everybody. Don't just put your name out there thinking somebody's going to think of you when they're in the mood or when they're in the need. It just, we don't have enough money to do that effectively. That's what car dealerships do, and you're not a car dealership. So second one here is keyword research. Now there's a few ways that I do it. I don't just use the keyword planner while it's good, but there are some long tail keywords that you're not going to get, and it doesn't give you a competition analysis. So what I usually start with is this Fiverr gig. So you go to Fiverr and just look for Amira, and I'll post this in the show notes here or the YouTube description. I usually get the standard gig, and what you do is she will look in your area. You give her your 4 competitors. What she'll do is she'll look and see what your competitors' keywords, what they're ranking for, and then she'll give you 300 keywords depending on your niche and depending on your location. She does it for $20, and she does it in a day. So I highly recommend that. The premium, she will give you a website audit. If most of you are probably using your FMS website, you take it or leave it. But I don't think for an extra $10 you can do 7 competitors. Usually standard is good enough for what I get. What the output looks like is this, and actually that's not this one. Okay, so this one I think I only did like the $10 deal, but this is for a client we have in Cleveland that's for truck parking, and she gives you the volume and the difficulty that may be ranked, and then the CPC. So you take this information, and then what I like to do is I'll take it and I'll dump it into ChatGPT. And this is the prompt. Is you're a professional SEO working on a truck parking agency, you could put self-storage facility. Please cluster the following keyword list by semantic relevance. Google is a semantic search engine. Now, semantic, if you've never heard of it, means related to meaning and language or logic, right? So a semantic search engine will relate keywords that don't have the same words but have the same meanings, and they get a lot of these meanings. Google takes a lot of these meanings from Wikipedia, from online edu sites, from just general chatter, because if you're using a Gmail, Google's looking at all your emails and everything. So they've aggregated, and now they've just released their AI. I believe they've been using their AI model for quite a while, but they're able to put together relevant keywords that are not the same keyword. So it's a semantic, like for example, storage unit and self storage are semantically relevant, but storage and storage unit are not that semantically relevant because storage is way too broad, but a storage unit and self-storage are pretty much the same thing. Okay, Google understands the semantic relevance, which as an SEO makes it easier for us to kind of get people to rank for certain keywords with less content. You used to have to put every single keyword you want to rank for on a site in some way. You don't have to do that anymore because Google understands what you're talking about. And if you're the only one with relevant content, relevant semantic content on your site in an area, you're going to rank for different keywords without having to put an article on your page for every single keyword you want to rank for. But that's soapbox. I don't want to get on there. We did this. We got the list. Then we went to ChatGPT. We put in this. We added the list. And what Google will do, or what ChatGPT will do, is these are basically ad groups that we're going to use. So they semantically clustered all the let's see. So I will group them by categories based on common themes and intents. And here are the clusters. So you get these different clusters, and then you take those clusters, you copy them to a notepad, and these can be used for ad groups. So one thing that I don't recommend is having just one campaign and one ad group and dumping all your ads into an ad group. I don't recommend that because you want to make sure that you have ads that relate to these ad groups. So like an ad for this would be monthly and long-term parking, and these would be the keywords that we're going after, versus, let's see here, semi-truck and vehicle parking. We'd have an ad just for this. Are you in need of semi or large vehicle parking? That would be the ad headline, and then these would be the keywords we're going after. You don't want to have these keywords, semi-truck parking, for just a truck parking ad. You want to make sure that you're getting a little bit granular so that you can advertise effectively. So this is the prompt that we use. These are the clusters that we get. Another tool that you can use is called Writer Zen. It is a paid tool, but it actually it's the entire keyword discovery process. So you start with a topic. So the topic right here would be self-storage facility. I'm not going to do this live because it does take a bit of time for this program to run, because it does return so much data, but it is really cool what it does. So this topic, discovery, self-storage facility, we jumped in there, and these are all the different topics that it pulled and the different areas that it pulled from, and you can pick any one of these. That, this is Smithfield's. These are all the different topics that it pulled from across the net. That's what makes this tool just ridiculous. And then once you have that, you go to the Keyword Explorer, and you can get the keyword data. This allows you to filter out ones that you don't like, and then you go to cluster, and it will cluster it for you in the keyword planner. So you got self-storage keywords, and you can see it's got, the topics that we decided on that were relevant to us. It took all the keywords, clustered it, and it gives you your actual the trend, whether it's going up, the volume, the intent. Is it commercial intent? Is it navigational intent? All the different, so you can get really, really granular with your keyword searches. And just for you guys who have multiple facilities in multiple states, you're not going to get a heck of a lot of deviation. So I would do this like once for your entire organization, or once every quarter, once every 6 months, and then just for every location, just grab one of these for $20 and just make sure that you're on the right track, and cluster accordingly. The last tool, and then you have good old Google Ads Keyword Planner, right? And they just added this. Okay, so this should replace, this clustering and your ChatGPT clustering. The problem is that Google will most likely only show you keywords that people are paying for, and that's not necessarily every keyword that's out there that can get you traffic. Because not only do I recommend using these clusters for your ad group, I recommend building articles on them. So you can completely go to your site, build an article about general truck parking, including, use ChatGPT to write your article. I have prompts for that, but I have other tools, so that's a little deeper subject. But you want to make sure that you have one article on your site that is targeting these keywords, and you can do it by getting the highest volume. If truck parking is the highest volume, then you can kind of sprinkle in some of these other keywords in there, and Google will understand semantically that your facility provides truck parking, and it will rank you for these different keywords without exactly having all these keywords on your site, because you've created a semantically relevant article. So those of you doing your own blog work, try to do that keyword research and get some semantically relevant articles on your site for your blogs, not just how-tos, not just local news, things like that. But you can see here that Google, if you want to know what Google wants, look at the tools they're giving you. So you discover new keywords, you get their volume and forecast, which you could do this over here, and then you organize them into ad groups. So before we were doing exactly this process, we were just doing it with different tools. So if you haven't used the keyword tool, it's under tools. This is the new dashboard. Under tools, keyword planner, and then you're gonna put in your products. So let's just go sell, storage units, storage near me, storage facility. I'm giving you guys hints here. Self-storage facility. So these are going to show up, and then we're going to go https public storage.com. If you have your own site, I'd put it in there. If you have a site that's real light on content, put in your highest competition's content. Then you're going to go get results, and it's going to pop out results. The one thing that I want people to do is right now you'll set for the entire United States. You don't want to set it for the entire United States, because keyword traffic is not ubiquitous across the United States. It's, if let's say you're in Cleveland, Ohio. So we're going to go Cleveland, Ohio, if I can spell, and you're in East Cleveland, wherever you are, type in your city name, target, and then get rid of the US, and you want to target this. So we go here, and it's going to give you the volume, the monthly searches. You can see we're approaching leasing season, so you can see this is going up. It's going to give you the 3-month change. When you see keywords that have positive changes, you're going to definitely want to use those. And then it's got your medium competition, and then your average bid. So this is going to tell you about how much you're going to spend. And again, the REITs are taking over a lot of the spending, so you'll see this higher. Then you got stores near me, cheap stores near me. These are all um, different keywords that you can use. And if you have a portfolio bidding strategy, this is the top of page bid, right? Okay, this is not what actual cost is. This is the top of page bid, low range, top of page bid, high range. So you're going to bid 749 for this keyword, but you might not actually pay 749. So I use this as a metric. If I'm getting clicks for lower than the bottom page bid, the low end range of the bid, then I'm doing pretty well. If my best click is in the high range, then I've got some optimization to do. Now, if you've never run an AdWords campaign before and you're coming out of the gate with a brand new ad account, you're going to be near the high range because Google doesn't have enough data to optimize your campaigns. As your campaigns age, your bids should go down because I tell my team 2 to 3 times a week, pop into this campaign and make an edit. Either edit a keyword, add a negative keyword, or I'm gonna do. Let's see here. I got it in the under maintenance mode. I'm gonna show you guys what I do now. Is my list of things to do exhaustive? No. I've taken several courses and certifications on AdWords over the years. We're taking a new one right now. We try to keep ourselves updated, and I'm just doing what I do. I'm showing you what I do, but it's a recipe, right? So everybody's got their own recipe, and I say that because your recipe in Cleveland, Ohio is going to be different from mine in New York. But this is like the base to start from, and then you kind of optimize from there. And if you're in a bigger organization and you have several different locations, you're going to have all your locations in one ad campaign, but your ads and your ad groups and your campaigns are going to be slightly different. Okay, so this is a start. I like to tell people, do your keyword research, spend the most time on your keyword research. And I'd like to see in some of the groups, what keywords are you bidding on? It's the big REITs against, I think, some of the smaller guys who just got into it. It's getting very competitive, so you can't just go into your AdWords account, throw one campaign in, and just follow every one of Google's recommendations. That's a way to spend a lot of money and not get a lot of result. If you're, some of what I see is I see smaller campaigns who are only doing like $150, $100, $200 for an entire month, and you can see where that's going to get eaten up pretty quick, or your ad's not going to be shown because you don't even make the minimum bid. But this number is going to be different based on your area, so we can change our location, right? So if we look right now, so storage units, the minimum bid or the low end bid is $665, right? Let's see here. And then let's say if we change it to, let's go Lansing, Michigan, right? Which is smaller, considerably smaller. So we'll save, and then it'll update. And now you're at 450. Okay, this is why you definitely need to target where your searches, where you're going to be running your ads, because it's going to dictate your bid price. So let's pick a tiny. Let's go Erie, PA. Nope, that's bigger. Let's go Cicero, New York. There we go, 36,000. Let's see what's going on there. It's actually not that different. Okay, so again, that's a suburb, so it's probably not going to be too different. But you can see how the numbers change, and this is going to dictate your budget. If $150, divided by what's that? That's $5 a day. That's you're going to get one click. Okay, so just be aware that the smaller your budget, without knowing these numbers here, is going to dictate what kind of campaign you want. Now, this is a search campaign, and I recommend anybody who's seen some of my stuff is I recommend a search campaign at the top. Like if you're looking at a pyramid, search campaign at the top, display campaign, and then a YouTube campaign. Now your YouTube and your display campaigns are like $1. Some of these, we've got YouTube campaigns running for like 7 cents a view or 0.07 cents a view. So it all depends on what your what your budget is. If you have a lower budget, you might want to shy away from the search ads and just um, concentrate on YouTube. Put up a YouTube video that is specializing, is showing your special, and then they click and they go to your page. That's going to show up on TV because a lot of people are watching YouTube on TV. And display campaigns. Display campaigns can be can have double power, right? So there's certain display campaigns that we'll go over setting up that are going to help your organic SEO, because you can target them in different areas of your city, and when people click on them, it's going to give you relevant local traffic. Any ad that you run is going to give you relevant local traffic, which is going to increase your ranking. So I recommend everybody run some kind of campaign. But if you've got a budget that's under $500, just be aware that $150 on a 450 click, you're going to get 1 click per day, and that might not be the best for you. You might want to do a display campaign where you're going to get more clicks and more exposure. In that particular instance, there's a way to set it up that you don't want to waste that money either. If you're going to run a display campaign, make sure that you opt out of every single app placement, and we'll go over that in another video if people want it. But I don't want to get too long with this. Your keyword research, there's just a review. You can just do a Fiverr campaign and then run it through ChatGPT with this prompt. It's a real simple prompt. You can use, if you want to get real deep and give yourself some ammo for actually writing content for your site, you can use Writer Zen. And then you got good old keyword planner, and you just want to organize those keywords after you pick them, right? So we search these keywords. In these keywords ideas, you're going to select the ones that are relevant to you. I suggest, right now there's 2,400 keywords in here. You want to get rid of the ones with city names and things like that. And then once you've gone through it, pick your best ones, add it to a plan, and then organize it. And this will give you your ad groups. I'm still playing with this. It's not something I actively use, but if anybody's running AdWords and you've looked at the recommendations, not only the recommendations are getting better, it makes your ad campaigns easier to run. So I imagine this is pretty decent as well. I've got a system in place that we use to do our semantically relevant ad groups, and we run it from there. So in the next video, let's see here, we did keyword research, we did clustering, and then we're going to create your campaigns. In the next video, we'll create campaigns, ad groups, we'll create a live campaign and do portfolio budget. Cool. Any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.